up, everyone? Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Battlefight 3000.
Battlefight 3000.
The bi-weekly podcast that challenges the status quo when it comes to versus battles.
We are Chris Mundy.
And Dave, your beloved host. And we will be taking you on a magical journey through the most requested battles in history.
Or the ones that interest us the most.
So without further ado,
let's start the show! What's up, everyone? Welcome to another episode of Battlefight 3000.
One more for the vault.
Okay, yep. That's what we call it. Oh, there's another laugh on the mic.
Ooh.
A little
Who might that be?
special treat.
Ooh.
Hey, Dave, guess who we got today?
I don't, please tell me.
Trevor Walls.
Oh, and
Hello.
You know
who
all
might that
about
be?
him.
Is Trevor the actor, comedian, and a YouTube personality?
Yeah, some would say even he's an influencer.
God damn!
I
Hey,
wouldn't
Trev.
like them if they said that. Hey,
Oh.
what's up?
Hey, well, he's not an influencer.
I don't influence anyone.
Yeah, no, we've noticed.
Yeah.
Whoa, you influenced my heart.
Oh.
Yeah, it's very nice.
Aw.
So maybe a little bit of a refresher for Trevor on what we do here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, Trevor, let me take you down on a little country ride that we call our show.
Can I neglect that? I'm just here for a podcast,
I need an
dude.
adult on this one.
Just get inside my rusty pickup truck and let me take you for a ride here.
There are no lights. Anyways, we do fictional battles.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of like the old shows, Deadliest Warrior and Animal Face Off, where we just have the debate about characters.
Right.
Yeah, it's pretty exciting. We have people vote after. Usually / always I win.
Now, I do want to make clear that unlike those two shows, we use zero science, knowledge, or technology to
Right.
figure out who is going to win
Okay.
these things.
I research. He doesn't. I'm assuming you didn't.
I am just here for the country ride. Oh, I should also note that I'm 18, so both
legal?
of those shows that
Did you bring the form with your guardian's signature?
my guardian
Ready
signature. I
consent?
didn't.
God,
But
God damn it.
both of the shows that this is based off of are before my time.
Yep.
So that's
we get
another
it.
interesting reason to choose me as your first guest, and I'm really glad to be here.
Yeah, you are first.
I am.
Popped our cherry. Thank you.
So today's episode was it came from Trevor's suggestion. So do you want to tell them who we're going to be battling today?
Oh, yeah. So I should also give a little backstory in the fact that I'm going through a phase where
It's called puberty.
Yeah, I'm hoping to peak at some point. No, it's the opposite. I just tell everyone how great the Paddington films are. It's a thing I do because
This is the
they're
bear.
great. Yes.
Okay.
No. The other
You know what? There
Paddington.
might be people out there
The train
not
station.
listening to these podcasts.
He's always talking about the train station.
The movies, Paddington 1, specifically Paddington 2, are great. So when I got asked what fictional character is, that was automatically my thing. Kind of jokingly put that out there, and then they're doing it, and here I am. So now I'm stuck with Paddington to actually fight in this fictional battle. We're doing the fight of talking bears. That was my choice. Sorry, guys. Winnie the Pooh is Dave. Dave has Winnie the Pooh.
I'm going to be battling for Winnie.
Winnie, you're on a first name basis with Pooh now.
Oh, we go a long time.
Okay. And Chris, you have Yogi Bear, the infamous,
That
Well,
rap.
kind of just
scallion.
once upon a time famous bear.
Movie in 2010. We're gonna get to that.
But didn't it bomb? It kind of bombed. I don't know.
do
I'm not
right
going to say
now.
that. Sorry, I don't know if it bombed, but
Who knows?
who does know? But anyways, it's the fight of talking bears, and I'm here, and I'm soaking it up.
We are very excited.
Hell yeah, we are.
Yeah. So that's kind of what we do here, and I think next up will be the main battle. Note to our listeners who will hopefully listen in the future, this is the first episode where we're stripping out the prelims, and that's going to be like a mini episode.
Oh.
Or mini-sode.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I've never heard that. Has anyone ever coined that term before?
Yeah.
It
Minisode, or
sounded
are
so
we the first?
professional.
TM
You guys
trademark
sounded
it.
so
Mini-
professional,
Thank
and then
you.
you had to question him.
I think no, because I think we're the ones that did that
It's
first.
brand new.
Right,
It's
right.
ours. Yes.
Oh, really? Trademark it then?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
definitely.
Trademark, Minisode. Trademark.
Wow.
You
yeah,
have to
so
say "I declare."
a thumb more.
Yes, and the minisode.
Okay,
Both, you can do
I
both in the
declare
same.
a
and then-
thumb
Right,
more
right.
and a minisode.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So that's going to be separate things. So we're just going to go straight into the main battle. So here we go.
And we are on to the main battle of the Talking Bears. We have Winnie the Pooh, Yogi the Bear, and Paddington the Bear. All the bears.
Da bear.
The bear. All the bears. All the bears.
Foreigner.
You know who else was a foreigner? Paddington.
That's
You know,
true. Well, yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
I mean, to us. To the people in England, he was probably from England.
No, he's from-
darkest Peru.
Oh my gosh.
Do
Oh,
the
see?
research.
Lack of research
Okay,
Okay, wait,
already.
wait. Give me a second, though. Give me a second.
Yeah, yeah.
Why the fuck did he not have a Peruvian accent? Why did he have an English accent?
Because so here's the thing. Here's the lore. So Chris isn't ready for this. So an explorer from England came to darkest Peru, and then found these bears that were super intelligent.
God damn. Stupid
And then
movie.
no, don't you dare call it a stupid movie. Let's see you make a good movie out of a cartoon bear. Others
Winnie
have
the Pooh.
tried.
So then
Okay, so then so he teaches the explorer teaches the intelligent bears English and all these things about London. So then they dream to go to London. Then one of them dies.
Whoa,
so they have
whoa.
spoiler for the first 2 minutes of the movie.
I want to fucking put a hold onto that,
Okay.
on that thought.
Yeah.
You know who else was born in a different country in South America and learned English very young, but still has an accent? Me.
Yeah, but you
But
learned
they
it
didn't
from
have any
Columbia
accents.
Institute. Yeah.
No. I
They
have
didn't-
fucking English and fucking Canadian and
Why are you
US
so
teachers.
bad at it?
Paddington, that was just... If he's from Peru, he should have had...
But he learned
a
English from an
accent.
English speaker, so that's why.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that is.
He didn't have a
It does
a
match
basic,
up. I
he
mean,
didn't
as
have a
far as the
basic,
logic.
like, Peruvian accent
Unless he was
because he was a
taken
bear.
from a cub to England.
No,
and that makes sense.
just watch the movie.
No,
Yeah.
I didn't want to. That was-
Preferably before we start the podcast.
I did my usual YouTube highlights.
Okay.
I saw a couple
So you probably just
things.
watched the toothbrush clip or whatever.
No,
that one
actually, I didn't even
trailer.
watch that one.
Oh, cool.
man, come All right.
Cool.
So we're
But
doing a battle
anyways,
between these guys.
And I'm
Let's,
gonna win now.
Here's how these battles gonna go.
Yeah.
Each one of us has a bear that they're fighting for.
Covered already. Yep.
Yep, covered already. And the way we're gonna do this is we're gonna set up each character. So we each are gonna do a little pop culture and history about it. We're gonna give the strengths, the well, we're not gonna do our own weaknesses. We'll do each other's weaknesses.
This is confusing.
so
Summary. And I'm gonna redo that.
Sorry.
All right, I think we went a little bit on a tangent there. So let me explain how this is going to go down. We're each going to set up our character and give a little background and history on them. We're going to tell each other the strengths. We're going to do a summary of our pros and our cons. Then we're each going to give each other's weaknesses for the bears, of course. I don't need to hear what my weaknesses are. And then we're going to go on to the final battle after we've talked about it. Feel free to interrupt the other person.
No.
And yes.
That's rude.
Yes, I don't care. I hate you all. And I'm going to win.
Whoa.
Oh.
Because my
okay.
bear is
Oh, I guess this is
the only bear.
becoming a little bit contentious.
We
Okay.
fight to the death.
Hey, usually, Trevor, for your knowledge, this is a polite battle fight. Yeah,
Okay.
So, but I guess
I will say
no holds barred.
you do have the strength as not like for the character, but at least for the reception of the character. I feel like a lot of the people listening are going to be on your side, Dave, because Winnie just automatically has people generally in like Canada and America, especially
a
when he's the
lovable-
beloved one.
Mhm.
Yogi, everyone hates Yogi. Paddington is at least like he's kind of the underground, but a lot of people dig
He's
him.
new. He's up and coming.
Yeah,
He's up and coming.
he's up and coming in our culture.
He's like
at
the
least.
SoundCloud rapper of bears.
No, take that back. Take
underground.
that back.
Paddington 6'9".
Anyways, Dave, do you want to give us an intro on Winnie the Pooh?
Yeah, I don't mind if I do. I'm gonna
Good.
begin
I
with
asked you to.
my lovely yellow bear, orange, whatever. What color is Winnie the Pooh?
Oh
He's
my
got a
gosh,
red
he's
shirt,
yellow
so-
with a red shirt, dude.
Jesus.
Is he yellow though?
Yes.
Is he
Yes.
yellow?
Why are
This
you
is,
Very clearly yellow.
quite a lot of controversy throughout the years.
Says
where,
who? With who?
What controversy?
I did.
Starting now, controversy.
Oh.
All right, so Winnie the Pooh,
It's yellow.
as you had mentioned earlier, is the one that has probably the biggest following because
Right.
he's been a media franchise
For
based
sure.
on A.A. Milne's
Milne. Yeah.
Winnie the Pooh from 1926. This guy goes all the way back to the early 1900s. And he's also one of the most popular Disney characters.
Oh,
And
false.
was included in TV
No, that's
Guide's
true.
list
Mickey.
of 50 greatest cartoons.
Minnie.
You said one of, dude.
I can name 5.
Okay.
Want to do it right now? Okay. Mickey, Minnie, Donald, Daisy, Goofy.
Yeah, but those are the gang. They don't count, really.
Yeah,
What?
they're
the
all
Mickey
Mickey
gang.
Mouse.
Yeah.
That's it.
This is
Yes,
ridiculous.
those are popular,
People
but-
know
Insane.
them because they're
Oh,
friends with
God.
Mickey. That's it.
Where's the Mickey reboot, like live action remake? We haven't seen that yet, have we?
Oh, thank God.
Where's
That'd be
the Fantasia
terrifying.
reboot?
It really would be.
Like an 8-foot mouse.
It's just Chuck E. Cheese. Oh,
Sorry, Dave. Keep
sorry,
going.
Well-
continue.
Continuing, as I was saying, Pooh actually made the list of the 50 greatest cartoon characters of all time
Wow.
in 2002. But
Who's-
I'm sure if they did another one in 2019,
Whose list? I assume this is just something you did.
Probably
when you
TV
People
told
Guide.
me.
magazine. TV Guide.
Oh.
Remember when people used TV
Yeah.
Guides?
Yeah.
Who
I don't have
Googles
cable.
anything when you have
Millennial.
TV Guide?
Right.
And also, he has his own star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame,
That is actually
which
pretty
is
cool.
pretty
That's
badass.
that's legit. Yeah.
Pooh's Adventure has been translated into over 50 different languages. So not only
Only
does
one
he
of them
have
counts, guys. English.
Arab, okay.
No. Whoa. It's getting weird. All right.
It is rumored also that in 1914, a Canadian veterinarian named Lieutenant Harry Colborne bought a bear for $20 while he
Whoa.
was stationed in somewhere in Europe.
Those were
serving
the
for World War
days.
I. Yeah, dude, $20 for a bear. It was a black bear.
That will cost you at
And
least
he-
like $50 now.
Yeah, depends what currency you're converting from, but yeah, it could be less.
Yeah.
Right.
Nice.
I mean, anyways, he named that pet Winnie after his native Winnipeg, which is pretty
Yeah.
okay.
Best thing that's ever come out of Winnipeg.
Mm.
Yeah, I guess. Anyways, the cub ended up serving as a mascot for the regiment while they were stationed in England. And, you know, when the soldier left for France, you know what he did with the bear?
What?
He left Winnie behind in England.
What? What a dick.
It cost him $20. He gave it to the London Zoo, actually.
Okay.
But, you know, $20, fucking pocket change in 19.
No, that's a
fucking
lot of
10.
money back then.
Mm.
Now when you're fucking making dollars, flying planes, dropping bombs, what's up?
Whoa.
World
Okay.
War One was a freaking messed up, boy.
Mm.
Anyways, one of childhood's most beloved characters has been hitting the gym. I don't know if you noticed very recently a picture of Winnie the Pooh went viral.
Nope.
Yep, I actually put it on everyone's notes, and it's Winnie the Pooh saying, "Sorry, sir, this is a Christian server, so no swearing."
Yeah, so
You
for
can,
all of our listeners, please access our Google Docs and you can see a picture.
No. Just all you have to do is Google it. All you have to do is Google it.
I'm really glad that memes are keeping the integrity of the character intact.
Well, the reason I bring this up is because it's
Walt
very,
Disney's
it's
so
very
happy.
important for this podcast to
Right.
see what Winnie the Pooh looks like nowadays.
That's not.
Oh,
He
do you
is
mean with
jacked.
the new? Oh, you just
with
mean on
his,
the meme?
With his meme,
Yeah.
yeah. That's
Okay.
not. I don't think that's Disney.
That's not
approved.
canon.
No.
He wasn't lifting honeypots, dude.
You know what? If you read our rules and regulations, which we don't have,
Not a thing.
I can do this.
No,
Okay.
this is false.
There's no precedence.
Okay, sure.
So
Okay.
All right.
I'm gonna go next.
Yeah.
And
go
do
for
this professionally. Mine is short, not
Okay.
long-winded, because there's not a story about zoos. Because who cares?
Mm.
The zoos. I'm over it. Just that's the stance I'm taking.
Okay.
Anyways, Yogi Bear was created in 1958 by Hanna-Barbera. Those classic animators started on the Huckleberry Hound show, And he grew too big for it. Within 3 years, he was on his own show, The Yogi Bear Show.
Woo!
Yeah, no big deal. It is a big deal. Prime time. Yeah. He had guest stars.
Wasn't he on at 12 a.m.?
That's midnight.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a crazy time. TV didn't run that late. Anyways, he appears in 15 different TV shows, 17 movies or specials. He's been in 11 video games, a bunch of comic books, a few albums. Yeah, at one point, I think he was romantically attached to Angelina Jolie. He's been everywhere is pretty much it. Yeah, so kind of a big deal.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is pretty cool.
Yeah. Note for yours,
okay.
that's less long-winded than this guy's.
Okay.
Yeah.
How long has he been active for? Like, when did he first appear? I wasn't paying attention.
1958.
Wow. Wait, Yogi Bear has?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Why?
Okay. Because that is the same year that Paddington Bear came into the world.
Aw.
I know.
Twinsies.
Yeah. So, Paddington Bear is a bear. Despite popular belief, he is a bear. First appeared in October 1958 in the children's book A Bear Called Paddington.
Oh.
You guessed it. That did confirm that he was a bear for the non-believers.
And called Paddington. Huh.
Yes, he has now been featured in more than 20 books written by Michael Bond, who recently passed away. Rest in peace.
Rip, 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 rip.
I hate you. And illustrated by Peggy Fortnum. Not as important. Just wanted to put that in.
Uh-huh.
She
Yes.
was also the person that illustrated Full Metal Jacket.
Really?
No.
Okay.
I just made that
What?
up. I'm sorry.
I had no idea what you were talking about.
I-
Just said
like-
really to be polite.
Like, wait, the movie Full Metal Jacket by Stanley Kubrick?
Wow.
No, the comic one.
Oh, okay. I don't know what's happening.
I don't know. I think he's making it up.
I did.
Right.
Was
No,
that
wasn't
heavy
it?
metal? Is that what you're thinking of?
No. I meant Full Metal Jacket, the comic book.
Anyways,
Cool.
We tend to ignore Dave when he talks. Go. Trevor.
Well, he is a beloved character in British culture. Oh, I should also note. Also, he was a stuffed bear. Like that's kind of his origin. Just so that's one thing that I'm really proud of with my character here is at least the cultural impact. I was going off saying maybe Winnie the Pooh, but when I really looked into it, when you think about it, like the art.
So you're proud that your character was an inanimate object?
So was yours.
Yeah, Winnie the Pooh canon is a stuffy. I hope you know that. It's all in a kid's
Sorry,
mind,
stuffy?
and it's
He
his
was a
stuffy.
bear in England.
Are we
Called
calling it a
Winnie.
stuffy?
Well, yeah,
Stuffy, okay.
stuffed animal, whatever. Christopher Robin in canon.
Stuffies and furries.
I have to say, in canon, Paddington is an actual bear, but in the real world, he started as a stuffed bear. So that's the cool thing about Paddington is like Yogi Bear and
Strong
Winnie
word.
the Pooh.
Cool.
Okay, Yogi Bear and Winnie the Pooh were created to be loved by fans. They were hoping to have a successful TV show, hoping to have a successful books, TV shows, whatever. Whereas Paddington was literally just a bear that they happened to, make successful. It was more like, it has more heart. I just got to say that. And I don't care if that's a controversial topic. I'm going to say it. He has a little more heart in the creation. I'll just say it. Not going to help him in a battle, but I wanted to put it out there. Books have been translated into 30 languages across 70 titles and sold more than 30 million copies worldwide.
Ooh-wee.
Yeah.
That's almost the population of Canada.
Oh, smart.
Thank you.
Well, yeah, he kind of faded into the limelight for a bit, but
Faded out.
faded out of the limelight. But recently, Studio Canal, I think it's Studio Canal,
Yeah.
produced these films that have
Oh.
been a worldwide success unexpectedly in 2014 and in 2017/18.
Whoa.
Yeah, and they are literally the best films. But I also want to put that in the history. I was doing some research right before this, and this is really interesting.
Tell
Can't
us.
wait.
So, Christopher Robin, which is the most, for the nostalgia-driven movies we're going to talk about with these bears, Christopher Robin, the most recent installation, made about $145 million worldwide.
good.
Pretty good, right? And you
Yeah.
saw the advertisements everywhere. Yogi Bear, I was very wrong about flopping, actually made $200 million,
big
probably
deal.
because there weren't good family films in 2010, but I'm not going to talk about that. And I just
Well,
want to
shade.
say that Paddington, the first film, made over $245 million worldwide, which kind of shows maybe I was wrong about the cultural impact because Winnie the Pooh can't fill that many seats. Just want to put that out there.
Well, with
How about
inflation, Yogi
compound
Bear
dollars?
hit $3 billion.
That's very incorrect.
Prove
Not
it.
even close.
Prove it.
Has money really?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's gone,
Since
yeah.
2010?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. That's that much.
I was 10. I wouldn't know. Yeah.
Yeah. So put it on the record: $3 billion for Yogi.
Definitely not 3 billion.
Right. Didn't get a sequel, though, so just want to...
You can't do a sequel to
I'm
a
just gonna
masterpiece.
throw it out there, but if
Okay.
we take compound dollars
Mhm.
made from a franchise
Yeah,
from
yeah.
Inception, I think Winnie the Pooh is doing pretty good.
That is cool, except... except... Do the 50s and does the entirety really count? Because when we just look at recent times of the cultural impacts, Paddington
Oh.
is very much in the
Classic
lead.
millennial.
Yeah,
Only
I
worried
know.
about the now.
Well, I also want to say that there's a film literally called Winnie the Pooh that came out a year after Yogi Bear. So anyone who loves Winnie the Pooh would definitely have gone, right? Well,
Not necessarily. I'll let you continue, but
Winnie the Pooh made a mere $50 million at the box office.
and that's I'll. Do you ever walk into a grocery store and you see those pre-made whole chickens?
Oh,
Yeah.
every day. Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
right, and they're super cheap.
Mm-hmm.
So they're what you call loss leaders, right? They bring people
Not
into
what
the
I would
shop.
call them, but yeah.
Yeah, so you bring people into the shop under the premise of cheap chicken, and then they have to buy other things. That's what a Winnie the Pooh movie is. It's a loss leader. So you
cheap
put it
chicken?
out there. Yeah, it's cheap chicken. You put it out there. You show it to everyone. Yeah, you lose money, but guess what? Everyone buys Winnie the Pooh toys. Everyone goes to the amusement
If you
park.
really want to
They
bring up
buy
the
shirts.
franchise, I can bring up the Paddington franchise, dude. But I'm not going into that.
We have so much more to talk
We
about.
have so much
guys.
more. Anyways, the history of Paddington, we already talked, came from Peru. Then moved to Windsor Gardens in London, and it's where he lives with the Brown family, and it will literally warm the movies will literally warm the soul of anyone.
I watched number 2 today. Still cold.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a really good
I
movie.
watched 10 minutes of YouTube videos.
Fucking idiot.
I actually recommend. I know it sounds crazy, but even to Dave, someone like Dave, who does not seem Paddington fit. You know what I mean? Like when you first look, you're like, oh, it's a bear movie. But Paddington 2 specifically, it's literally a masterpiece, and I just recommend you try it just so I can see what your reaction is. Because as someone who loves cinema, I cannot recommend it enough. Now on to the battle talk.
Oh, ending it on that note.
Wow.
Closing it down for everyone.
It's
You can't do that.
heartfelt note there. Thank you.
Anyways, hey, Dave, do me a favor, okay?
All right, go for it. What do you need?
Tell me the strengths of
Oh.
Mr. Pooh Bear.
I thought you'd never ask. Well, first of all, Pooh has the most ruthless gang out of all the bears, right?
Ruthless, dude.
Ruthless.
Yeah.
He's got a human
Mhm.
called Christopher Robbins.
He's
I mean,
5.
Yeah, you know what? This kid grew up in the forest practically. He's badass. He wears short shorts so that he can run faster and I don't. He's a
He gets distracted by balloons.
sometimes.
Don't we
he
all?
He has
Yeah,
a
that's true.
pig friend named Piglet, who's very courageous. There's the depressed donkey called Eeyore.
Right?
A deadly kangaroo named Kanga.
Oh.
A
Has
small
Kanga
kangaroo.
murdered someone?
Sorry,
Has Kanga murdered someone? Is that why they're
we don't
deadly?
know.
Yeah.
Dude, she don't say nothing.
She's closed out that part of her past.
Yeah, she's got a son named Roo.
Oh.
Who's a smaller kangaroo.
Oh. Kanga and Roo. Like kangaroo.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think
These
they meant
guys
to
are
do that.
geniuses.
Really?
No, I don't think they meant that.
Huh,
I think it
what a
just came
crazy
naturally.
coincidence.
Yeah.
There's the angry rabbit named. Care to guess? Rabbit.
Oh!
There's the owl. Who's,
What's he called?
Owl.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
Yeah. Wise and fatal.
Hmm.
And the wild card of the gang, the tweaked out tiger, a Bengal. Care to learn what his name was?
I would love to.
Tigger.
Oh,
Whoa! Wow!
Yeah.
They put a
Yeah.
little extra G in there.
Now,
You know
aside
what I
from
heard
all
about
that,
Tigger? I heard that there's like one wonderful thing about him.
what is it?
Really?
I think Trevor would know.
Is it that tigers are wonderful things?
Yeah, it is.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
I heard that tigers love to jump.
Me too.
Not as
They
clever,
call-
but yeah,
They,
yeah.
call it- they bounce. They don't jump. This guy.
He does use his tail as a spring. I'll give
Yeah.
him that. Yeah.
Anyways, so aside from all that, as if that wasn't enough, we know that
It's almost too much.
Pooh is crazy about honey, and he would do anything to fulfill his substance abuse.
He's a
These boys are
junkie.
It's crazy.
His substance abuse. Wow.
Yeah,
That's a
he's
stretch.
got he has no fear.
Okay.
Like the brand.
He
From
has
the
fear.
Yeah, he has a sticker of no fear on his honey jar.
I just
which is
want to.
great.
Sorry to counteract,
Yeah.
but I do have to say, in Christopher Robin, the recent film, he was pretty fearful all the time.
Mm-hmm.
He was a little
brave
fearful.
guy.
No.
He's not afraid of bees.
Well, he's got that going for him.
We're also talking about a bear that lives in the woods,
Okay.
right?
Yeah, yeah.
Most bears,
He
yeah.
knows how to get around the city too, but woods, that's
That's true.
that's where he really just
Right.
goes around taking down beehives and
Mm.
getting his friends in
Have we
trouble.
ever seen him do that?
I've seen the 2011 movie where he forces Piglet up into a beehive and then smacks Piglet with a piece of
Right,
wood.
which leads me to the
What?
next
dick,
point,
Fred.
which
That
is
seems
that,
out of character. Wow.
yeah, but from that we learned that Pooh is actually has a great ability to influence others.
With force.
Yeah,
All right.
perhaps.
Yeah.
You know, he also has his best friend is a cracked out Bengal tiger, which that's
I
got
would
to
say
count for
Piglet's
something.
his best friend, but yeah.
He's an international celebrity and
Mm.
loved by all, young
Right.
or old.
Yeah,
And
sure.
he was created after a black bear. I mean, Pooh kills.
Okay.
All right, so that's yours.
Yeah.
Really
I
great.
mean,
Great
do we
job,
need to
Dave.
say anymore?
Good
Nailed
job. Way to go.
it. Killed it. What?
What do you got?
I just
about
fill
Yogi?
empty. I just fill empty gaps with.
Oh, that's super disgusting.
Oh, I just wanted. Sorry, before I'm gonna cut you off, Chris. I just want to say a really random fact, but one thing Yogi Bear doesn't have going for him is in both Christopher Robin and in the Paddington films, you get second most recent Doctor of Doctor Who, Peter Capaldi, because he voices the rabbit and he is Mr. Curry in the Paddington films. So where was he in Yogi Bear is all I'm asking. He's a really good actor. So did he turn it down because he didn't want to
Yeah.
be in Yogi's movie?
Sorry.
What
They
you
got
just
bigger
said did not
celebrities.
register at all with me.
Oh,
I have no
that's
idea
very
who any of
surprising.
those people are, except for Rabbit. I know Rabbit.
Right, right.
That's about it.
He's not a person. Right.
So the thing is, Yogi wasn't able to get big time Peter Capaldi. What they were able to get was Justin Timberlake.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
that's true.
And
Emmy
TJ
Award
Miller.
winner. Yeah, I hate TJ Miller so much.
Wow.
Anyways, that's a different thing. Okay, so strengths about Yogi Bear. I believe you said that Winnie the Pooh was a brown bear, right?
Black Bear.
Sorry, black bear. Right. It's because Yogi's a brown bear. You know what's part of the brown bear group? Grizzlies. He's a goddamn grizzly
Grizzlies
bear.
aren't part of the brown bear.
Yeah, they are.
Grizzlies are a brown bear. They're just
No,
the region that they live in.
no.
It's a grizzly brown. as
There's
opposed
different
to-
kinds of brown bears. Look it up.
No, they're the Kodiak's brown.
So he's a goddamn grizzly bear, the second largest terrestrial carnivore. Normal height, they go up to 9 feet 2 inches, weigh
Wow.
up to 1,000 pounds, and have bite strength of 1,200 psi. That is a lot. That's, some say it's more than 600. And they can run up to 56 kilometers per hour. That's pretty badass for a bear.
And yet he's obsessed with picnic baskets.
Yeah.
He is a pretty intense thief. I'll give him that.
Yeah. He's like a ninja.
He literally spends his days robbing people.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. He's
robbing
like-
humankind.
Some have called him the Danny Ocean of the bear world. I just did.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's pretty good. In the actual movie, he's taller than a human, which I don't think can be said for either Paddington or Winnie the Pooh.
That's true.
Yeah, he has access to like spy gear, like telescopes and zip lines. He's very handy. Some will call him a mechanical genius. He uses a soldering iron, which is very impressive for a bear. He makes a functioning glider. He has amazing fashion sense. He's got a pork pie hat and a tie.
I would say that's
In
a
green?
weakness. He wears a fedora.
Oh, sorry, just red shirt. Way to go. He listens to Weird Al, which is kind of cool.
That is pretty
Yeah,
cool.
I'll give
him that.
Wow.
Yeah, that's
I think I
pretty
love
badass.
him.
Yeah. He can water ski, so he's a bit of a party animal.
Okay.
He's smarter than the average bear. And I think we'll find out later that Pooh and Paddington are much dumber than the average bear. And
Doubtful, but
are you kidding me?
I have an argument, but yeah,
Okay.
continue.
Yeah, I can't wait for that. Oh, man.
You invited me here.
I think Dave did, actually.
Yeah, that's true.
He successfully pulls off a raft escape from a crashing plane, much like Indiana Jones did.
or John
Ooh.
Matrix in Commando without the raft.
Okay. Anyways, his sidekick Boo Boo is bigger than either Paddington or Pooh, and also a grizzly bear. And his frequent foe, Ranger Smith, will help Yogi when the shit gets real. And that guy's got legit survival skills, and he's got the power of the government behind him.
Wow.
So he's got a lot going for him.
Power of
The-
what?
Mr.
Sorry.
The government.
Oh wow. Cool.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, the government doesn't care about park rangers.
too soon. Anyways, so those are his strengths. Trevor, what do you got for Mr. Paddington?
Oh, I got a lot.
All right, let's hear it.
I have a lot to say.
Can't wait.
Okay, so I'm about to make an argument, which can be very much proven. I think Paddington is a psychological mastermind.
Oh,
I really do.
All
I
right,
really
let's
do.
hear it.
He may act like a clueless bear, but do you notice that makes every single human being around him convert to his ways and work for him and do everything for him?
Oh my god.
It's true. I also want to say, yes, Winnie the Pooh does grow up in the forest. Paddington also grew up in the forests of darkest Peru, but then moved to humanity, to a safer place where he now has the skills and wit of darkest Peru, but doesn't have to live there. So, arguably, maybe has the skills, but is now more knowledged than Winnie the Pooh. Is
Paddington
knowledge
would
a
get
word?
I
mugged
don't know.
So
Who knows?
fast if he went to Peru.
Hmm?
Would get mugged so fast if he went to Peru.
Well, he
He's
goes to
from
darkest Peru, and he's from there.
He's from there. Did you mean Winnie, or did you?
No, Paddington.
He would get
Winnie would
mugged?
get shanked going into like a small hamlet in England.
Well, you got to remember also that Paddington is literally one of a kind of his species because he's the one kind of bear that can actually talk, other than his still living aunt.
Oh,
who's
so
at
not
the
one of a kind. Boom.
two of a kind. Fine, whatever. Fine, you got me. You got me. Yeah, he had a pretty rough childhood. Spoiler alert for the people that are still trying to watch the movie. He got rescued from a raft that was about to fall off of a waterfall when he was an infant. And so he has that dark past. And he also, shoot, what was I about to say? This is why you use notes. I don't need to use notes. I know Paddington well. Thinking of the first.
He was trampled by a horse while his
Wrong movie.
aunt,
Wrong movie.
What?
Wait, was he? Or was
No,
that
I
in
don't
the
know. I'm
show?
trying to help you
Is
here.
that
I don't know.
canon?
I didn't
No,
watch
no,
that
no.
movie.
That wasn't it. I can't. I'll think of
Sounds
it.
like you're nonsense.
Anyways, yeah. So he's a foreigner. He knows what's up. Everyone around him converts to his ways. I mean, even the racist who's like, "None of your jungle music in my town," played by Doctor Who, of course. He eventually converts him. Actually, I'm not quite sure if he does, but if I remember correctly, when in Paddington 2, or maybe it was Paddington 1, one of them, Mr. Curry is trying to stop the Brown family from going to rescue Paddington.
That's a number dose.
Hmm?
Number
Yeah,
two.
that's number dose. And literally the entire neighborhood comes together to push the Browns' car past, almost killing and wiping out Mr. Curry.
Oh, my God.
All just from the knowledge that they are going to save Paddington, who knew that would happen because he's a psychological mastermind. Everyone.
So what you're trying to say is that he puts other people in danger constantly?
Yeah, because he's that badass, dude.
Yeah, I mean,
Everyone works for him. He could show up with a crew at the fight, dude.
The truly powerful never get their hands dirty.
Exactly. You think you got Piglet? Is that your crew? You got Piglet and Rabbit and Owl, dude? We
Not
got all of freaking...
Got Christopher Robin's son?
Yeah, you got Christopher Robin. We've got all of freaking London on his side, dude. The entire
London
neighborhood. The entire neighborhood. Other just little points in the movie that will show that he's a psychological mastermind is his aunt taught him how to do this thing called the evil stare.
Hard stare.
Hard stare, sorry. Yeah, not evil stare. I'm trying to make it sound more hardcore than it is. But seriously, it is hardcore. There's at one point when he faces the really, really badass chef in the jail that he's been put in because he's so hardcore that he was chasing after a thief. Yogi Bear, you better watch out. He faced him. Guy was being kind of an a-hole, and I'm such a badass that I say a-hole. He literally stares him down, makes anyone in his proximity start to feel hot and like literally stop everything they're doing and feel under his power. And then he goes back to being innocent, so they're now his slaves. Literally, though, Mr. Brown in the first film was doubtful of taking him in, and he changed his mind, even though he was a klutz. He made a friggin' flood happen in their home. He did all these things that were incredibly wrong. He converted their entire family to only eat marmalade for a whole day. He's doing all this shit that Mr. Brown would not put up with, but somehow after that hard stare, he's doing everything for him, dude. He's breaking and entering for Paddington. Whoa. He even gets stabbed by a little name tag pin.
Okay, less scary.
But he does it just to sacrifice himself for a bear he barely, pun intended, knew. So I gotta say, Paddington is a lot more hardcore. My final thing is in Paddington 2. We see him go to jail, and he's with the most hardcore. I'm using hardcore a lot. He's with the most hardcore jail cell members. It's like the toughest jail cell in London, and he literally, with his well-manneredness and psychological mastermindness, he converts the entire jail to his cult by acting like it was an accident. He dyes all of their jail cell suits, prison clothes. He dyes all their prison clothes pink, just so they will be part of his cult, and then it works. I don't know what was in that pink dye or the sock that he put in the laundry, but he knew what he was doing. He even converted everyone, and then you see that he turns they're getting bedtime stories read to them. They've been numbed. Their mind is numbed along with everyone that will fight for him. Even when he almost died, and we thought, oh, I guess this is how, sorry, spoilers, but I guess this is how the what do you call it when it's two movies? The saga? That's too many. I don't know. I don't think there's movies. The two movies end. I guess this is how it ends. He's going to die. And then the three mofos, the friends he made in jail, come down in a helicopter/plane to rescue him out of the strongest guys. They break chains, guys. They break chains underwater. That's how strong they are. You think they're not going to show up and fight freaking Yogi and freaking Pooh, dude? They're going to show up. So, rest my case. The dude can I think he could convert Winnie easily. And Yogi. I really do. He converts everyone.
If I may just add a couple of strengths.
Of course.
I wrote notes like a professional.
Right.
Great claws for climbing. We see him climbing those big trees in Peru.
He is a what do you call it?
Spectacled
bear, which is the best bear for climbing. That's true.
So great for him.
I gotta say, he's also very resourceful too. He used out the shitty car vacuum cleaners.
Yeah.
To, climb out.
He makes literally the best marmalade. There was a time when he was about to get beaten, straight up beaten by the guy who's the chef in the jail, Knuckles McGee. And McGinty, sorry, Ginty, and and he puts a piece of his marmalade in his mouth and literally makes him numb.
Got that marmalade.
I think it's converted everyone. Kind of badass. All I'm gonna say.
All right. So he also stopped a crook in the first movie by like trailing a bus using some sort of skateboard like thing.
Yep.
And parasailing.
Right.
You mentioned does hard time.
Mm-hmm.
He can ride a dog like it's a fucking wolf going into battle.
That is true. Yeah.
Scuba dives. He's industrious. Makes that cheddar. That made me feel really cool saying it. And oh man, he's super agile and flexible. Like when he was going through the clockworks to escape prison.
For sure.
Super malleable.
Yeah. And the one more point I will add about what we've seen Paddington do is, as much as, Winnie the Pooh and Yogi Bear, they're great. They're great films. But for a battle, I just want to say, how much did we see Yogi Bear defeat on his own in the movie Yogi Bear? I'm genuinely asking. There was like evil environment people, right?
Oh,
that were
man.
going to take
It's
down the
like
forest.
There's a thing called strength of schedule coming up.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah,
I'm going to
we'll cover
stop.
it.
Okay.
I don't know what Dave's look was.
I thought we weren't going to do strength of schedules. Because
Oh, well, now we're doing
none
it.
of
Let's
our
go.
Bears.
Oh man.
Oh, we're doing it.
fought a
We've
lot of
got it.
enemies.
Don't worry.
Okay.
All right.
Let's do strength of schedule.
No, next is weaknesses.
Oh, okay.
So I think I'm going to be handling Paddington's weaknesses.
Paddington.
Okay.
you're gonna be
Easy
handling
peasy.
Pooh, and I'll do
Lemon squeezy.
Yogi.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You mentioned he's a spectacled bear.
Yep.
Let me tell you about those spectacled bears. They're also called the Andean short-faced bear. That's a fucking insult in a name.
Maybe that's why I can do the hard stare, Chris.
Maybe. All I know is he's got a terrible mouth for biting.
Okay.
Oh, largest land carnivore in South America. Pretty impressive. Only 5% of its diet is actually meat. Not a lot.
I just want to... Sorry. I'm just going to counteract that with... We do learn the fact that marmalade contains every bit of nutrients that a bear actually needs. So maybe if the others aren't eating marmalade, they don't have the proper nutrients.
I don't think there's protein in marmalade.
Well, check the facts, dude.
Nonetheless, maybe it helps them stay healthy. It does not give them that taste for blood.
Right.
Okay, they can get up to 385 pounds. I think that's less than a grizzly. Height of 6.5 feet. That's a decent size for a human. Bite force of 750 psi. Not that much. Not that much.
True.
Let's go. Tiny. He is smaller than the brown children. True story. Not
is.
very muscular.
Right.
Super clumsy.
Mm-hmm.
Fills like the bathroom full of water. Just fucks up everything pretty much.
Right.
He relies on family to save him.
Yeah.
Weakness.
Yeah.
Yeah. Big bad guys are taken down by Mrs. Bird and Mr. Brown.
Yeah.
So can't do it himself.
Doesn't need to, but yeah.
Yeah. Not really
Right.
smart. Doesn't understand how the world works.
That's what you think, yeah.
Yeah, it's very much.
That's
shown
just
in the
his cover,
movie.
dude. Just his cover. It's just his cover.
Yeah, and then that's pretty much it. He's just not intimidating in any way. He's got a very stupid costume with the hat, the worn hat, and the little raincoat. Yeah.
Okay.
Doesn't camouflage into anything.
Right. I do think personally that the fact that he's I like how this is really a serious show now because we're talking quieter. I do think the so-called weaknesses are intentional as far as being short. He uses that to his advantage. The Brown family would have definitely just passed him by if he was this giant tall bear like Yogi. They'd be like, oh no, we're not dealing with that guy.
He needs
So you're
the
saying
help of
being small
family.
plays to his advantage?
Yeah. He definitely uses the fact that he's small and cute to his advantage. Yeah.
But he needs the family to be able to survive in London. He can't rough it on his own? No.
No.
Yeah.
No, he definitely can't. No.
Oh.
But I don't think he needs to. Because he's got the entire town working for him, is all I'm saying.
All
Okay.
right, Mr. Spin
All right.
Doctor.
You wanna?
I told you I'd do it.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna go for it and read out the weaknesses for Yogi Bear.
Okay.
Okay, yeah.
Try.
Well, I mean, for starters, he's ridiculously clumsy.
Yeah.
Something
I
always
would
goes wrong
say
with his
in the
plans.
ranking of the Bears, he is the least clumsy.
Right, but would you agree
Nah.
that something always goes wrong with his plans?
Yeah.
There's
Mhm.
nothing ever goes right for him. He's
That's
clumsy.
true. That's
goes
very
wrong
true,
at
Chris.
first.
He's literally the Wile E. Coyote of the forest.
I see him more being like Indiana Jones once again,
Oof,
where
I don't
his
know if I
plans
would
always
give him that
go
much.
awry and then works out
Does
in
it
the
ever?
end. Yeah. Oh, right.
Does it ever?
Oh, you didn't watch the movie.
I didn't
did
watch
you?
the end,
Okay.
so-
Okay.
I made my own ending. He
Right.
got caught.
Well, he does. Sorry, I'm just chipping into everything. He does. He does. It does work out in the end for him,
Mm-hmm.
but the way that Paddington is clumsy differently is because we see that happen for Paddington working out every time. Whereas Yogi Bear, it takes him an hour and a half because, he wants to steal this picnic basket. Maybe he will, but then he's going to get shamed for it. He wants to do this.
Excuse me.
Doesn't
it's
work.
pronounced picnic.
Picnic. Sorry, picnic.
Oh,
Yeah.
one thing that I forgot to mention
Yeah.
is that Paddington's a fucking junkie for marmalade.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Can't survive without it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
he's
think
got
it's safe
issues.
to say that all three bears have substance abuse issues.
Oh,
Yeah.
This is-
They have
I
their
think that
vices.
levels out, yeah.
That's pretty much a universal weakness here with these. Crack addicts.
really due for some rehab.
We're just going to have to confiscate for the fight. We're going to have to take away every...
Yeah, we have
Check his
Paddington
hat.
with the
Check his hat.
marmalade,
Yeah.
Pooh with the honey, and now Yogi the bear with the freaking picnic
Yeah.
basket
But
addiction.
we haven't seen Yogi or Winnie convert anyone with their sub. They're the only ones
Stop
on it.
pushing it.
I really am.
Keep going with the
you
weakness.
have
Yes,
to- you have
continue,
to- you have
please.
to let,
Sorry, what was it? I did chip in to say something useful, though.
Disagree.
And that's both Winnie and Yogi. Or, sorry, Winnie and Paddington against Yogi is, for Yogi, a lot of things go wrong. That's where the comedy of the movie is until the end, where it works out for him. It's often not working out for him. Whereas both Winnie and Paddington have it that every time they are clumsy and do things, it always works out for them.
I would very much disagree, especially with Pooh.
Well, the issue with Yogi Bear too is things always go wrong for him because he thinks he's smarter than he is.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's a big weakness for Yogi.
Right.
Still smarter than the average bear.
Somewhat.
So he says.
He has another big one too. Is his love for Boo. Right. He's just so into it that he's so easy to
Who
keep
doesn't love
Stretch.
JT?
Yeah. Well, but
To be
what
fair,
I'm getting
Boo
at
Boo
is
brought
it'll
sexy
be-
back.
If you want to get to Yogi Bear, all you have to do is kidnap Boo Boo, and you can just hold it over Yogi. To
Boo
make him
Boo
do
is
whatever you
still
want.
a grizzly bear,
Yeah, he's tiny though.
bigger than Paddington or Pooh.
Is he?
True.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, Trevor.
That is true.
Damn it!
Sorry.
Stupid Boo Boo.
Gotta
going,
keep it
though.
accurate.
That's all right though. He's still smaller than humans.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got Christopher Robin.
Who's 5?
He's got
Also,
Baron.
Winnie. Never mind.
And the Browns.
Never mind. I'm just gonna
You don't even know who
continue.
the Browns are.
Yeah, they're the white family that went into the museum to get that stupid bear. Was it a museum?
No, it's a train
Oh,
They
station.
did
it was a
save
train
him, yeah.
station. Yeah.
Saved him in a
keep
museum.
Going.
Anyways, Yogi's a hustler, and everyone can see through him. So he's not fooling anyone. He's like a mix of Julian and Ricky from Trailer Park Boys. After that Freedom 35 just
A
fails.
reference everyone gets. He's Danny Ocean.
He's a horrible liar, which is the reason nothing ever works out for him until the very end of the movie.
Mm.
And other than that, I mean, he's got he is a brown bear, right? So we'll give him that. Brown bears, again, are the scariest of all bears. But he's not like the rest, right? He doesn't have that hunger for humans. He uses
Who does in this? Who has hunger for humans?
real brown bears. right? Which was one of your main points, is that
Just because he doesn't have a taste for human flesh doesn't mean he's not by far the strongest of the bears.
what movie did you see him actually be aggressive?
He can be.
Nah, he used a little screwdriver to make little traps
Okay.
for sandwiches.
I'm so disappointed in you as a human. All right, is that
All
all
I'm saying is we can't really use the strength of a brown bear because Yogi's a soft brown bear. He's been used to just getting his
Soft?
food already made. He's soft.
I have seen
tall.
Winnie the Pooh. I saw him last week in Disney, and that is a soft bear. He's giving
How
kids.
big was
He's
Winnie the
giving
Pooh
kids hugs.
when
Whoa.
you were at Disney World?
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's giving kids hugs. He's all bashful. I looked into those eyes. He didn't know what was going on. High on honey. He's on that honey high.
Yeah, dude. He likes to have a good time. He's Winnie the Pooh.
All right, you done? I'm tired of you.
I'm out.
Trevor, what do you got for Mr. Winnie?
Right. Well, first of all, I do have to say that one thing that me and Chris have going for us, at least one thing, is Winnie the Pooh technically is a figment of imagination that doesn't exist in the real world other than in Christopher Robin's head. That is kind of the confirmed plot line of that.
Which is also a strength. Because you can't
show up to the fight.
Well, you can't kill someone that doesn't exist.
You can't kill an idea.
That's true.
Yeah. He's like it. He's like Pennywise.
Pennywise was a real thing.
No.
He was also like stuffed.
Right.
Yeah.
If you don't show up to a fight, that's an automatic forfeit, right? Because
Oh, no, he's
Winnie the
there.
Pooh is not showing up.
He's there. He's just
He's
like
a stuffed
hologram.
animal.
He's a hologram.
In what world? Not even
Christopher
Disney
Robin says
World. Not even Disney World, dude. Not even Disney World is he a
This one,
hologram.
he shows up. But he is still stuffed, if I'm not mistaken, right, Trevor?
Oh, he is. Yes, it's confirmed because in the cartoons we see him as a bear, but then we see in the live action version, in the real world version, such as me and Chris, or Chris and I's, I don't know grammar, in our films, is in the live action version for Winnie the Pooh, he really is just a stuff. You could tear him to shreds. He's not a real bear.
They are figments of Christopher Robin's imaginations. They're all stuffed animals. That's
Yes.
a real thing.
Yes.
All piglet, rabbit.
So, no chance is what we're saying. Just note. I don't know if I
just
even need
stuffed.
any more notes.
He is literally full of cotton.
Okay, but if we're humoring Pooh as a real bear, I guess. Dumb. He's straight up dumb.
Oh, man.
Not dumb in the way that it pays off for Paddington. Kind of just dumb. He got left behind for literal years. Even in the imagination, he was left alone,
Oh,
dude.
man.
In the 100-acre woods.
Not to like be mean or anything, but I think in the real world he would be considered mentally disabled. I don't think
I
there's
have no
any-
comment on that, but yeah.
Yeah, it's not smart.
Not smart. Yeah. I mean, again,
He's just
Paddington,
happy-go-lucky.
right.
Got no
Paddington
cares.
also has an excuse as he's a foreigner. And Winnie the Pooh
You've been living
Winnie
on
the
for
Pooh
years,
has
Dave.
been there forever. So there's not an excuse. He's familiar with everything. He's just dumb. Whereas Paddington is kind of using his, oh, I'm so dumb. Help me. I'm a hot foreigner. And then everyone loves him, eats him up. So I just gotta, I don't know. And same with
You're
Yogi.
talking about
Yogi
the
knows what he's
Paddington
doing.
that got shot with a freaking handgun from like 2
Hmm?
football fields away.
Pardon me?
You're talking about the same bear that got shot with a handgun from like 2 football fields away. in
Yeah,
that train
and yet
station.
he still came out alive
Winnie
against
the Pooh
all
could
the odds.
potentially be shrunk in a dryer.
Hmm?
He could be
Shrunk in a dryer. That is true.
Yeah.
Also, he can't exist outside of a mind. Whereas Paddington is in the real world. So is Yogi. We never really get an explanation as to why Yogi's Yogi, do we?
No, he's just a
He's
genetic
just
marvel.
Yogi. Yeah, it's kind of like Alvin and the Chipmunks. Like, oh, they talk, I guess. Cool. Whereas Paddington, it's like a little more explained.
Yeah.
Why they talk.
There's also the issue with Pooh, which he happens to always get either his hand or head stuck in a honey pot.
Yeah,
That
that is
happens
true.
a lot.
Any nook or cranny is a very possible fatal danger to Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah. See, every bear does have their things, and Winnie the Pooh is the one who's not good at it. Paddington uses his marmalade to convert and make a cult in the jail. Yogi Bear can at least steal a couple picnic baskets full of what he wants, whereas Winnie the Pooh can't even handle his own crap, is all I'm
No,
saying.
he's just high all the time. He sees no danger because,
Great for a fight.
yeah.
Yeah, I would say out of all of them, he probably has the biggest substance abuse issue where he will hallucinate that people are honeypots, that all they say is honey.
Mm-hmm.
The
Yep.
best part is, this happens every episode. Like, every episode is just him getting a fix.
Yeah, he's not even smart enough to like plan ahead on his honey or ration it out. He's just a slave to that addiction.
Right. Yeah, that's true.
Thank you.
What they say, man, never get high on your own supply.
He can't produce honey, Dave.
No, but he can fucking take it.
What else you got?
All right. I've also got Friends with a Human, which could play against him in the forest. Humans are stupid. That's not my note. That's Chris's.
Dave's.
That's
No, that's
Dave's.
Dave's.
Okay. Sounded like a Dave note.
That's a classic Dave note.
He is also 5. He is also 5, Christopher Robin. He's like 8. Even adult Christopher Robin is just one dad, you know? Just saying. Just saying. It's all symbolizing stuff where Paddington is proven to be in the real world. And
I
also
love that every time you read someone else's weaknesses, you add a Paddington strength.
because he's going to freaking win, dude.
We'll
Sorry, I'll
see.
try to add some Yogi strengths.
I've already said them all.
Yeah,
I covered it.
exactly. Exactly. That was
May I
it.
point out that in the 2011 movie,
Mm-hmm.
Winnie the Pooh's theme song is sung by Zoe Deschanel, which she's great. Everyone loves Zoe. Not very tough, though. Not a badass animal would
Right.
have Zoe Deschanel singing the song.
Right, right. Who sings the? Is there like a Yogi song in the movie?
Yeah, I believe it's by some Norwegian death metal, black metal band singing.
Right.
it.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Uh,
Well, I
Big
do want to say
Flames
that
is
there's
the- yeah.
actually some of the many people that Paddington has converted. There's a band. He has a personal band that follows him around and just kind of sings songs every once in a while.
That's great.
Whenever he feels like it. Also, their music's great. So
And
Stop.
who was that then?
Yeah, Winnie the Pooh's weaknesses.
sorry, there's just too many strengths. Too many strengths.
A narrator can control Winnie the Pooh's entire world by like tipping a book to make him like wake up. He's at the whims of
That is
John
very
Cleese in
true.
that movie.
Right. Who's also technically in Christopher Robin's imagination.
Mhm.
But yeah,
He also has 2 modes only: sleepy and hungry.
that's true.
That's it.
No kill mode. Interesting.
Yeah.
Oh man, he's a black bear, which if we're giving all the info about bears, which I will,
Mm-hmm.
can weigh up to 551 pounds, less than a brown bear, height of 6.5 feet, same as Paddington.
Wow.
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
not Paddington. They're both very tiny.
Yeah, yeah.
And a bite strength of 741 psi, less than the spectacled bear.
Okay.
Yeah, science.
Well, yeah,
Yeah, black
that's
bears
pretty
are
true.
They just like eat trash.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. And are very afraid of humans too.
I gotta bring up the friends of Winnie the Pooh and the gang. Let's see. Like, just to compare, I'm doing this for comparison notes. Yogi Bear, Boo Boo, is quite reliable.
Hey,
he's
Boo Boo.
always there for Yogi, you know, and he gets shit done.
He's a voice of reason.
But
too.
also, Boo
And-
Boo is
yeah.
constantly questioning everything
The
Yogi
voice
does.
of reason.
Still does it though.
Yeah, he's the voice of
So
reason.
Yogi could be kind of a master manipulator if you
Yeah.
look at it. Yeah, Paddington again, same thing. Has a lot of humans on his side, a lot of tough people, and
Paddington's also
deep
gonna die
in
from
the
diabetes any
100.
day now.
Sorry.
Paddington's gonna die from diabetes any day now.
This
or at
from a
least
guy
get
whose
his foot.
bear crushes honey.
Yeah, but that's what bears eat. Everyone knows
Well-
that.
They eat other stuff.
Maybe in Christopher Robin's imagination, but in the real world, they've
Oh,
said that they
snap.
eat marmalade. So cute, Christopher, cute. But yeah, Piglet. I mean, even in the movie Christopher Robin, where they supposedly enter the real world, even if it's kind of just symbolic, they don't do very well. They kind of just drive. They kind of just end up in a few cars and mosey around. Some people get lost.
Oh, bother.
Yeah.
That's the best I can do for Winnie the Pooh.
Oh, I think that's Eeyore's.
Yeah, no, I just sound depressed normally.
Oh, cool. Yeah. Well, that's, I think, do you have any more weaknesses for Winnie?
No,
I'm
that's
gonna
I think
it's
throw
pretty
another
clear.
one for Paddington. I don't know if
Right,
you
right.
mentioned it, but because
Timely.
of his nature,
Mhm.
he's a very trusting bear,
That's true.
which is
Mhm.
why he gets tricked.
That's
too
true.
often.
Yeah.
Nicole Kidman tricked him.
Yeah, that is true.
Okay, Nicole Kidman was a badass, which I think we'll get into in our next section.
Whoa.
Strength of schedule.
An air horn and then a fart.
All right. Okay. I'm going to go first with my strength of schedule, or sorry, Yogi Bear's. Really only one thing because I've only watched the one movie. I watched the cartoons when I was a child, but did not revisit because I did not feel like it.
Fair enough.
In the Yogi Bear movie, he takes on an evil mayor / developer.
Ooh,
Yeah.
a politician.
Yeah, kind of the classic. We're gonna repurpose your land, and unless you raise, I think it was $40,000. That sort of plot. So, classic evil mayor. Also has a government behind him, but more so than I think Ranger Smith would, because he's got actual power. He's running for governor.
Ranger Smith is running for governor.
No, the evil mayor.
Okay.
Some people say Illuminati? Question mark.
Zionists.
I don't know. He's some part of something, I'm sure.
Okay.
But that's really the only guy he fights, and he takes him down quite handily.
How?
By himself, or did he have some help?
I mean, he created the glider that... So there was this whole plot about finding a previously, they thought, extinct turtle. So that's when he used the glider that he made with his own paws. And yeah, he had some assistance from Ranger Smith's side piece, and Boo Boo, but under his direction. Yeah. So he also distracted 2 security guards by suggestively dancing by waving his behind. So he's got that under his belt as well. So pretty impressive.
All right, so he's slutty too.
I mean, if you want to slut shame, yeah, sure.
Yeah, I do.
Okay, good. Glad we're on the same page. What do you got, Trevor?
Well, he's faced many. That's what the point I was trying to make earlier is in the movies with Christopher Robin, Yogi Bear, or even any Winnie the Pooh film, really. What are they facing? Who are they? There's never...
Evil mayor, bureaucracy, Illuminati.
Okay.
That's just Yogi.
Right.
Tourist.
Right.
Throwing garbage in
Okay.
the forest.
But I'm just saying, like,
It's a make-believe forest, Dave.
the worst that was going to happen with Yogi's opponents is he would have to relocate. Whereas the bad guys in Paddington are often trying to kill him.
Only one.
Yeah, Nicole Kidman mainly. The sequel. No, Hugh Grant as the
He's
bad
just
guy
trying to,
does. No, he full on is about to drop the bear off the train, dude. He's pretty intense with his. I don't know
Let's
if
go
he's
more Nicole Kidman. Weird thing. Not playing a character is actually just Nicole Kidman playing Nicole Kidman.
Oh my gosh, same with Hugh Grant too,
Yeah,
right?
it's
It's about a
very
retired rom-com actor who's like lost his way. Yeah, I love those.
You know what? I wasn't. But now that this information has become available, I'm going to go ahead and watch both movies because that's really interesting.
I would genuinely like. This isn't even
really
for the
pumped
pod.
to see
This
Nicole
isn't even
Kidman
for
play
the.
herself.
This isn't even for the podcast. I would genuinely love it if you did that, just so you could tell me about it after and what your thoughts were. That can be our podcast. It's just a podcast I host where I talk about Paddington and I bring on a first-time viewer every episode. I might do that. Anyways.
What was your favorite part? Oh, the stupid hat and jacket.
Whoa, okay.
Those fighting words.
Said the guy with the bear who only wears one shirt.
Man, he's like Steve Jobs. Why worry about all the other decisions? Just wear a red shirt and you're always ready.
He literally
For
couldn't
what?
make a decision.
For honey.
So, tell us a bit about, like, especially Nicole Kidman's character, I think is
Okay, so
most
Nicole,
dangerous.
yes, Nicole Kidman is a taxidermist who, I'm not going to spoil who she's related to or what it has to do with, but she's very evil and is passionate about killing off Paddington because she wants to make talking bears extinct, and he is one of two. So she then he's looking for the explorer because that's who his family told him to go find when he comes to London, but then ends up being manipulated into going to see Nicole Kidman, the taxidermist who's trying to capture him. And she doesn't capture him, but full on tries to shoot him many times with a tranquilizer. So then she could.
See, I know these because he was part of my 10-minute YouTube recap.
Okay, good.
Nicole Kidman is like a goddamn ninja in that thing. She's doing flips and
It's probably my favorite Nicole Kidman role, to be honest, because I've never been that big a fan of her, but she really pulled through with this one. Well, that's what sorry, I'm not going to tangent about the movies. I love how everyone takes them seriously. I like the acting in it. Anyways. Again, this was just so I could campaign. I've actually been hired by Studio Canal, so.
Oh, you got the name right.
Yep. Yeah, I want to get paid, so. Anyways, so face that, and there was a master of disguise, Hugh Grant, in the second film, who goes to try to get this pop-up book that's very valuable. But Paddington is trying to get the pop-up book to give it to his Aunt Lucy, his one remaining relative. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and really evil guy, also kind of a bad actor, just playing Hugh Grant. And he gets manipulated many times. Paddington gets manipulated by this guy. But guess what? He comes through in the end. The family pulls through again, rescues him.
Yep.
Because he doesn't need to do it himself, dude.
Because he can't do it himself.
But others include Mr. Curry, a racist.
He doesn't fight Mr. Curry.
Yeah, he fights his racism. I never mind. I'm just gonna spoil it. I gave Dave adulthood that Winnie the Pooh fights for his.
Dave is up next.
I know, I spoiled it, but that was from me. So if I can give him adulthood, I can give him racism. You know what I mean? That's all I'm saying.
Last guest ever.
So far, he's going great.
Yes.
All right. Give us your strength schedule. I'm cutting you off.
Oh, really?
There's
There's
why
more.
it's so
All right,
good
let's
to
hear it.
record on 3 different tracks because you can just delete Trevor's and then we still have both of ours.
It would be the same show. It really would. It would be the same show.
All right, finish it off, Trevor.
Okay. Jail cell members. Knuckles McGinty tries to kill him. He defeats them all. And also, just...
Gave you one last one. Keep going.
One more
this is
strength,
part of
please.
the same
Give us one more
sentence. The constant people that he manipulates and tricks throughout the films in general, like there's this, like they're constantly sneaking past security, you know, just not full on fights, but people that he's definitely kind of won the battle with, if you know what I'm saying.
No,
so,
I don't.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Dave.
I do.
Dave.
Go on.
Dave.
Go on, Dave.
Dave.
Should I just reiterate the strengths for Paddington, or
No.
are we good there?
Oh,
We
don't
know.
worry. If you say something about Winnie the Pooh, Trevor's going to immediately bring up Paddington.
The superior. Just trying to win, guys. Just trying to win.
So for Mr. Pooh here,
Yeah.
the main one and the most obvious one being bees. I mean, it's just he's just trying to be friends. And
I don't get the
you
pun.
know what,
Was that a pun?
It was supposed to. But other than that, I mean, he doesn't really fight anybody. He's just too high all the time. He's having fun. He's hallucinating. I think, and mind you, I don't know if I remember this correctly, but I think in the
bet
cartoon,
you don't.
when I probably don't, but I think he had to go and ask a pair of moles for carrots from Mr. Rabbit's garden at some point in an episode, but I don't think that was a fight.
No, that's politely asking a neighbor for something.
Yeah, I was afraid of that.
What?
Now, there was the one thing that happened in the 2011 movie that Trevor told me about, where
Nope.
he helps...
Christopher Robin.
Christopher
that was
Robin.
the
2018, yeah.
2018, whatever. God damn it, stupid movie. Where he fights adulthood, and he helps Christopher Robin return to being a happy, childlike person.
That is true.
Right?
Yeah.
And that's pretty heavy when you
Yeah.
have to...
It's a metaphorical battle.
well, I mean...
Yeah, but he's in his imagination, so that's about the biggest battle he can fight, Chris. Give him a break. What else can he fight?
Christopher Robin is freaking 45 and
Sexual
still
thoughts?
talking to a stupid fucking bear. He helped him get through debt, divorce, heroin addiction.
That's
broken
train
home.
spotting, Dave.
No?
You're just listing things about adulthood, but he didn't actually get through that. Christopher Robin
addiction a
doesn't go
regular
through a
thing of
divorce.
adulthood?
we don't know that.
Yes,
We
we
don't know.
do.
They
We
don't
see
talk
it.
about
But I'll give you some. He helps him gain his family back, like get his family back because he had placed work in front of it.
And he was about to get divorced, and then
No.
Pooh helped him.
They didn't do that in the 30s, dude.
When was the heroin? There was no heroin addiction that he got him over?
Yep.
Oh, really?
Oh, really?
I mean, this is
Wow.
the 30s. Christopher Robbins loved jazz, and it was huge in the jazz community.
Smoke-
You're
those
just
jazz
making
cigarettes.
stuff up. You're just making it huge in the jazz community. He was white. That wasn't a thing back then. Oh, racism.
Jazz
Paddington
was
fought that.
entirely a thing.
You know, Paddington fought racism.
All right.
Oh.
All right, do we want to go
That's all
into
you
the
got.
final
Yeah,
scenario?
final scenarios.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, who wants to go first?
I don't know what it
you
is,
what?
so one of
I
you
haven't
guys.
heard enough from Paddington, so.
No, he
You
doesn't
wanna
know.
go
I don't
first?
even
He
know
doesn't
how
know
it
what
works.
it is.
So,
Do you want to go?
All right, fair. No, you go. I'm gonna
right,
go
well.
last.
Let me take you to this scenario.
What are
Yogi Bear sends out a lovely invite to Jellystone Park for a picnic.
I've been there.
Paddington and Pooh go because they're too trusting and stupid. They show up and wait. Where's Yogi? Nobody knows because he's a goddamn ninja.
Okay.
All they see are signs with their names printed on them pointing in opposite directions. Paddington has to help Pooh read it because Pooh is an illiterate moron. So Pooh goes off without a care in the world down his path because he doesn't know what a care is. He's that stupid. So
Hakuna Matata.
no worries. And then Pooh, with his very strong nose, catches a hint of honey in the air and follows the scent. All of a sudden, he sees a miracle. It's a pool full of honey.
God damn.
He loves it. He's a fucking honey addict. He's got issues. And at the bottom of the pool, a massive vat that says honey, spelled H-U-N-Y, so that Winnie the Pooh can read it.
Which doesn't matter because he can't read anyways.
Oh, he can read that. He can read honey. That is established. But Pooh is too stupid to realize that there's enough honey in the pool to keep him full for life, so he goes diving to the bottom to get that vat. In the distance, we see a glint from a telescope, and Boo Boo is behind it. Uses his walkie-talkie to message Yogi, and Yogi ziplines from the top of a mountain and lands right beside the pool, quite gracefully, which is the usual thing for Yogi to do. He's very graceful.
Right, as we've seen.
Yep. You can't argue with me during my scenario. He's very graceful, like a ballerina. And He then uses his long, grisly arms to hold Pooh under the honey until he drowns. Yeah. You can't hear it, but you just know that his last words are, "Oh, bother." Something like that.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty sad, but it's the way he goes. And it's the way he would like to go, I think. Meanwhile, Paddington is following his own path. He read a sign that said, "People need love this way," and so he follows it because he's a sucker for helping people. He notices it's hot, even more so because he wears that stupid rain jacket and hat all the time. So he feels like a refreshing snack. And you know what will hit the spot, Trevor? Marmalade sandwich.
Yeah.
Well, what's that? At the end of the path? Could it be? Yes, it's a pile of marmalade sandwiches. And that other junkie Paddington rushes forward and pays no attention to the oncoming danger because he's beginning to get the shakes and needs that marmalade. All of a sudden, he hits a tripwire that has been made by Yogi, and down crashes Yogi's handmade cage that traps Paddington. And Yogi, he saunters out of the woods and says, "Hey, boo-boo, I told you I'm smarter than the average bear." Something like that. If anyone else wants to... Shut up,
God
Google.
damn it, Google.
Oh, Google home. Did it just respond to smarter than the average bear?
Yep.
Oh, fun.
Oh my gosh, it was "Hey Boo Boo" sounds like "Hey Google." Anyways.
Oh, wow.
Poor Paddington barely realized what's going on because all he wants is that sticky, icky marmalade. Yogi knows this and just teases him by waving his sandwich right in his face and then eating them. It goes on for days, and Paddington goes through the worst withdrawal anybody has ever seen. He's sweating, shaking, shitting in that stupid hat of his. Where are the Browns to help him? Nowhere. They got mauled by Boo Boo. That happened. Finally, Paddington feels like enough is enough. He's coughing up blood. It's terrible. He decides to end it all, and he takes an iconic raincoat and makes it into a noose. He dies a coward, beaten by the genius of Yogi Bear. Doesn't even need to get his paws dirty. He's that smart. And those guys are so weak. And that's how it ends.
Goddamn.
I know, it's
Wow.
super dark.
That is super dark, but good job.
Thank you.
Way to go.
I'm just telling it like it is.
That's
We'll
true.
have a moment of silence for Winnie the Pooh and Paddington the bear. After
Rip,
that,
rip, 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 rip.
Oh,
Who's up next?
Do you want to go for Paddington or you want me to
Sure.
go with Pooh?
I can do it.
Let's
Alright, go
hear
for
it.
Okay. So first off, Paddington gives a hard stare to Christopher Robin, and Winnie the Pooh is defeated.
Because he's not real, Dave.
Oh, yeah.
All right. That's it.
And that's it.
Very easy.
No. Well, to Yogi, as we know, Paddington is only an addict for his own marmalade because no one else knows how to make it just right. So he makes a bunch of sandwiches, which he always has in his hat, in his coats, anywhere. He just pulls them out of nowhere. He puts them in a picnic basket.
Yes, it's picnic.
Picnic basket, you know, puts it down, little trap. Obviously, the usual chaos will ensue. Yogi will be, you know, making a contraption of some sort to steal that picnic basket. But where's Boo Boo?
Picnic.
I said picnic that time. I really did.
Okay.
You just weren't listening properly. You have headphones on, Chris. So where's Boo Boo in this whole situation to help to help Yogi in this whole situation? Well, Paddington has befriended Boo Boo because they are similar sizes, and he warms his heart and converts him to his cult.
I always forget that friends always make friends just because they're the same size.
Right.
That's what happens.
That's what happens, especially when they're Paddington. You know it works. So then, without Boo Boo's help, Yogi Bear goes, steals the marmalade, which has been poisoned. He's knocked out, instantly knocked out. Ranger can't find him anywhere. You know, Ranger Smith, is that his name?
Yeah, it is.
Ranger Smith cannot find him anywhere. But you know who can?
Who?
Every single citizen of Windsor Gardens.
Oh my God.
And they literally stab him all over. They drink his blood
What?
because they knew that he had a chance of hurting Paddington's reputation as the only talking bear in London / the other places where Yogi resides.
Jellystone.
Jellystone Park. May have been in London. We don't know.
It's never actually.
They didn't have
specifically
accents.
said, yeah.
So, yeah, they don't have accents, but we don't know. Maybe they all moved there recently. Okay? Rest my case.
Why did they drink his blood?
Because no one could know. They even took a Nicole Kidman off of community service to come shoot the bear. They're like, at least you can try this one out.
All right, Dave.
They found the carcass, but the blood wasn't there.
Yeah.
So they'll never know who did it.
Framing vampires. Very smart.
Yeah.
Oh, Dave,
Oh.
I cannot wait to hear how Winnie the Pooh could possibly win.
Oh, here we go. This is going to be good.
It
guys
won't
ready?
be.
Oh, it'll be great. You know, for this scenario, yes, Pooh is a figment of Christopher Robin's imagination, but he can also do stuff. He's he can touch, he can manipulate objects. He's real enough to do things.
Okay. Sure.
And so what we do is we sell some honey and gather enough money to buy a couple of plane tickets to go all the way to London with Christopher Robin.
Winnie the Pooh would never sell honey.
Yeah, but Yogi Bear wouldn't make marmalade sandwiches for anyone else. So if we're really talking logic here, Chris.
So you know what? It's my scenario.
Yeah, sorry.
And
My bad.
My fucking bear can do whatever he wants. So we're in London now, and because Paddington
London,
is such a nice and trusting little bear, we get little Christopher Robin to go and invite him out so that he can learn more about his Peruvian ancestry and about his the kind of talking bear that he is, under the premise that he's a kid who also has a talking bear.
Mm.
Paddington's curious. He just killed Yogi
Wait,
in his own scene, and he wants to know if there are other talking bears.
Wait, Paddington killed Yogi? Or Winnie?
you're not even letting Winnie the Pooh kill
No.
Yogi.
Oh yeah, I guess I still have to kill Yogi. Never mind. We're still on
It just
Paddington.
happened. Believe me. Okay.
Yeah, I was trying to piggyback from yours. Anyways, we're back to London.
Don't make sense.
Paddington's talking to young Christopher Robbins about his Peruvian ancestry, and he made the mistake of leaving his jacket on the chair while he's showing him different artifacts.
Mm-hmm.
And this is where Pooh comes in, grabs one of the marmalade sandwiches, and puts cyanide in it. Puts it back into the jacket
Where did he get
and
cyanide?
walks away. Dude, Pooh's a badass. He's an addict from the same guy that sells him his honey. Got the cyanide, puts it in.
He was
there.
like, I hope this reads cyanide.
It was either bleach or cyanide, but he got something. Could have been anthrax. He doesn't know. It's just white powder. Anyways,
Bleach is not a white powder.
you can get it in powder form. The main compound for bleach.
Okay, sorry, continue.
Yeah.
Keep going.
There we go. It's my fucking scenario.
Yeah.
Let's go here. Pooh leaves the cafe. So does Christopher Robbins. And in about a week's time, Paddington's dead. All over the news. Cyanide poisoning. Who would have thought? On we continue on the saga. Pooh takes no prisoners.
Yeah.
We fly into... What's the name of that park?
Jellystone.
Jellystone Park. We don't go straight for Yogi. We don't want to hurt anybody yet. That's not how we play things. Pooh comes in, starts hanging around, befriends Boo Boo Bear, gives him a bit of honey here and there, gets him used to it.
Keep rhyming. Keep rhyming.
Brings him a little head, gets him used to honey, the special honey that Pooh does. Fast forward 2-3 months, Boo Boo Bear's addicted to honey.
What?
Oh yeah. He became an
God,
addict.
no.
It's like bubbles in the wire. He can't have enough of it. You're
Yeah.
too young for the wire. Fuck.
No, I was just wondering why you're referencing it for the Pooh scenario, but continue.
He's
Because
addicted.
he's
'Cause
referencing
Boo Boo's
Right,
now an
right.
addict.
Come on, man.
He's stronger than
Boo Boo's
heroin.
an addict like Bubbles.
Yes.
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm with you, partner. Fuck this guest.
Yogi's just... Yogi's trying to help Boo Boo. He ain't got none. He wants nothing. He just wants honey. He starts sleeping in benches in the park. He's performing sexual favors for honey.
He doesn't even have a mouth that opens.
Wait, Boo Boo?
Boo Boo.
Oh,
Boo Boo's
Boo Boo.
Boo Boo's got a
Oh, sorry.
Oh, Boo Boo's got a mouth that works.
Confused. I confused
Oh.
Pooh and
Trust
Boo Boo in this
me.
scenario. Confused them. Sorry.
Yeah, Boo Boo's going downhill, and there's nothing Yogi can do, and Yogi loves Boo Boo.
Yikes.
Then one day, Pooh gives him a little too much honey,
Oh, God.
and Boo Boo dies of a honey overdose.
That happens.
That happens. I mean, we've seen it. Not
We-
to Pooh. He's a
have
veteran.
seen it.
What happens? It's Yogi dies of sadness because Boo 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 succumbed to his honey addiction, and there was nothing he could do. And just like that, Winnie the Pooh goes back to being a stuffed animal and living inside of Christopher Robin's imagination.
The stuffed killer.
Wow.
that was a lot, Dave.
That was. Way to
So it
go.
was an emotional roller coaster.
Yeah. And
how
then
we do
Christopher
things.
Robin woke up.
Dave, he's joking that it's a figment of his imagination.
Oh.
That was a joke. I'm an idiot.
Boy.
Well, I think that's it. That's the
Yeah,
battle.
we
Wow.
finally got into
Good
the
battle. Good
Way
battle.
to go, guys.
end. Yay.
I think Pooh won.
All right.
We hope you're enjoying the podcast so far. We're having a blast making it and promise that we'll only get better at this. If you can leave a review, please go ahead and do so and let us know how we're doing so far. It would also mean a lot if you could share this episode with one of your friends. Or an enemy, we're not really that picky. Before we part ways today, folks, I'd like to personally thank Trevor Walls for joining us today in our 5th episode. If you'd like to hear more from Trevor, you can find him on every social media under the handle @TrevorWallsTV or on YouTube under his name, Trevor Walls. Thank you for listening, folks. We've come to the end of this episode of Battlefight 3000.
Battlefight 3000.
We truly hope you've enjoyed the show. Paddington Bear versus Yogi Bear versus Winnie the Pooh.
If you have any comments, questions, statements, or future battle ideas, please feel free to hit us up at email at battlefight3000@gmail.com or on Twitter at our handle @battlefight3000.
Now for the important stuff.
We need you to vote on who won the fight.
And please do vote on our poll at our Twitter feed. Again, that's @Battlefight3000.
If you don't vote, we will be wrestling naked in a vat of marmalade to determine a winner, and we don't want that.
Nah, we prefer to do it for fun and not have such high stakes attached to it. We'll announce a winner on the next show.
Until next time,
May all your fights
be battle fights.